This is the defendant's motion regarding custody and parenting time. Mr. Costello is present, represented by attorney Jessica S. Risky. Ms. Soroka is in pro se. Prior to going on the record, the court called the case and asked about the pronunciation of the defendant in this matter. And the reason the court asked is because a number of years ago, I'm probably talking about 10 years ago, the defendant's mother was a service provider for our family regarding our family pet. So I'm just placing that on the record. Also placing on the record that a number of years ago, I represented Mr. Costello in an unrelated proceeding, probably talking at least 10 years ago. Yeah, probably 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago. So I'm placing that on the record so that everyone understands that when the court is to consider a motion like this, I am not favoring one side or the other because of the fact that I had a relationship a long time ago with the defendant's mother. By the way, I'm sorry to hear of her passing, but also to the representation that I had of Mr. Costello well over probably 13, 15 years ago. Ms. Soroka, is there any problem with the court hearing this?
No.
Appreciate that. All right. Both parties, please raise your right hands.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this case is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Ms. Risky, you may proceed.
Your Honor, I'm just going to help your standards.
I appreciate that.
It's just a lot easier for me. As I had detailed in the motion, the court had entered an order back in February of 2024, so it's just been barely over a year. And in that last year, we have had so many issues. My client has tried over and over and over to parent, to assist. I mean, he has gone above and beyond for paying her car insurance to make sure she's got an insured vehicle for the minor child, to allowing her to move back in because she's bouncing around from home to home and boyfriend to boyfriend.
Moving back in.
My client allowed her to move back in August of 2024 to his home with a minor child because she was effectively homeless.
How long did that period last?
She just moved out not even a month ago.
Okay.
About 3 weeks ago.
Okay. Go ahead.
With another significant other. There's been hospitalizations on and off of medication, even on her parenting time. She's, pawning the child off on dad, grandparents. She has been completely inconsistent the entire time since the last order of the court. And for minor child, consistency is key. She needs a safe, stable environment, and she needs parents who are going to be able to provide the proper care for her. If she has a mother who cannot be trusted to take her mental health medication and therefore is having issues dropping the child off, I can't take care of this child, I don't want to see this child, and then having to be hospitalized, that's a risk for safety. She is unable to hold a job, I think more so unwilling, and so that is why we are seeking that my client be awarded this physical custody and that parenting time be every other weekend for her year round, and holiday time, Christmas, Huron County Friend of the Court guidelines. I understand that she's been held hurt, but she has failed to file an answer in any way, shape, or form to the court, to my office. We're not opposed to, a friend of the court investigation, because we don't argue that at the time that this was all said and done back then, there was hope that they could co-parent and things could go well. And my client has tried repeatedly to assist her, but if we just allow this to continue, at some point this minor child is going to suffer irreparable harm. So again, we would be opposed to that if that's what the court wishes to do, and if that's what the friend of the court thinks would be appropriate, but we would ask in the meantime that my client be granted then temporary sole physical custody for every other weekend, in, pending, that recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Roca, your response.
Um,
Please stand when you address it. Thank you.
Your Honor, I am not a perfect mother, but I am a trying mother that also wants full custody of my daughter due to her safety, well-being, because there has been rules that we have been through with you in the court that we determined back in 2022. And some of those rules got broken, and it is all on the court app. I have video, text messages of proof that on me, because I did not know what the lawyer was going to argue with today about.
Courtroom falls into stunned silence as the judge makes an unprecedented admission. He has prior connections to both parties that could cloud his judgment. Shockwaves ripple through the gallery when he discloses the defendant's mother once cared for his family pet, establishing a personal relationship that dates back years. Even more astonishing is his confession that he previously represented the father in unrelated legal matters over a decade ago, creating potential bias concerns.
I'm a trying mother. I'm not perfect, but I'm there for my daughter when I can possibly be, when he allows me to be there. Because sometimes he will put it over my head and not allow me to see my daughter when it's his time, and I understand that. But I even try to be there for her on his time too. I have done shots in my stomach when I was pregnant with her because of blood clotting issues. I did more appointments when I was pregnant with her. I did everything a mother should do when I was pregnant with her. I ate a lot, I took care of myself when I was pregnant. I had put her in MSU testing for autism because we suspect autism, and that was my idea. Mr. Costello didn't think it was really of an issue until I had to multiple times tell him we need to do this for her well-being. I have put her in a STAR program, speech class. I have done a lot for her, and there has been times that he has forfeited his time, and you can see that on the court app. I'm not a perfect mother, but I'm a trying mother that loves her daughter, and I would like full custody too, just because
But you've not filed a motion,
I have not.
and you've not filed.
Because
an answer.
I've tried to do the 2-2-3 like you wanted us to do. And I've been trying to co-parent with him for the past 2 years, and he's made it feel very impossible and has not been fair. And he has currently forfeited 2 days so far. And he has used excuses of why he forfeited, which if it's his parenting time, he still needs to watch her. And I don't mind helping him, but when I've helped him and he's used that against me, saying that I have forfeited my time. So, I can only help him to a certain amount. So why give him custody, full custody, or whatever he wants when he still needs my help? His mother has passed away, and I think more now than ever, Brielle needs both of us. And I've always put her before myself. That's why she's in his STAR program, speech class. She's getting tested for autism. I've made for sure when she's sick, she has everything that she needs. I tell Brent that this is what she needs. I'm sorry that I need your help financially, but I can't do it as a single mother all by myself. But I'm trying, Your Honor.
Okay. A question for you though, and then Ms. Risk, you have the ability to question you as well. The 2-2-3 arrangement, that wasn't what the court wanted. That was agreed to between you and Mr.
Yes,
Costello.
yes.
So it wasn't a matter of the court wanting you to do that.
Yeah, we were
That's what
trying.
you agreed to.
Yeah, we were trying to do that, and Mr. Costello recently has been breaking that rule, and he's also broken another rule, part of our agreement.
With trembling hands and a voice cracking with emotion, the mother delivers a raw, impassioned plea to keep custody of her child. Tears stream down her face as she admits her imperfections, but fiercely maintains her unconditional love makes her a fit parent. The plot thickens when she shockingly accuses a father of violating their agreement by drinking during parenting time, producing alleged proof through text messages.
And that is drinking on his parenting time. And there is proof on the court app that he admitted to drinking on his parenting time.
When is where are you currently living now?
I am living with my current boyfriend in Owendale. And we have a house that is perfectly safe for her and is baby-proofed. And she has food there, and she has a room, and she has everything that she needs.
Could you please step up to the witness stand? Ms. Risky, you may question.
Ms. Rocco, when did you move to Ondale?
Approximately roughly 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
But prior to that, you were living,
Was Mr. Costello.
yeah, so you were living with him, and you had been living with him for approximately 6 months, correct?
Roughly August.
And where do you work?
And from
Where was your last place of employment?
our gym.
Okay, when was that?
I quit in November.
All right, how long did you work there?
I don't
You know when you started there?
remember.
Okay, so were you working there in August when you moved in, Mr. Costello?
I don't think so.
What was your prior job before that?
I don't recall.
So in the year of 2024, how many months would you say you were employed?
I don't recall.
You don't know how long you worked at all?
Well, I've been staying at home taking care of my daughter when Mr. Costello was working and doing overtime.
How do you pay your bills?
And Mr. Costello used to take care of it.
Now, you had mentioned earlier that Mr. Costello will stop you from seeing your daughter, true?
Yes, sometimes when it was his parenting time, and he was upset with me, and I wasn't helping him with parenting time.
And when was this?
Back when I was living with my ex-husband.
And when was that?
I don't know, maybe a year ago, 2 years ago.
Okay, so that was
A year and a half ago.
a year and a half ago.
And I was really cool.
Okay, so I'm referring to everything that's happened since February of 2024. So in February of 2024 to now, how many times has he denied you parenting time?
I don't recall, that can be looked on the court app.
You do understand that today is the motion hearing, so you should bring those types of proofs with you, true?
Well, yeah, I didn't know.
I'm not your honor, that's
My bad.
It's okay.
Anyways, I did not know what we were gonna be discussing. I thought this was gonna be short.
Okay, so, and you're trying to mention that you attempted to co-parent, and you're referring to since February 1st of 2024, true?
Repeat that again?
When you had mentioned that you had difficulties with co-parenting with him,
Yes,
were these difficulties from,
since she's been born.
I'm not talking about since you've been born, I'm asking specifically if it was from February 1st of 2024 on.
It's been difficult for all 2 years.
So if it's been so difficult, why did you move back in with Mr. Costello?
Because I wanted Brielle to have her father in the picture, and I wanted it to be civil for the both of us, and try to maybe get our family back together.
When has he ever not been in the picture?
There has not been a time.
Now, you were hospitalized back in December of 2024, correct?
Yes,
Okay, so how long were you hospitalized for mental health issues?
a week.
Okay, and upon your release, instead of going to Mr. Costello's house to see your daughter, you went to a hotel with your new boyfriend, true?
Here,
True?
my daughter and Mr. Costello was out for somebody's birthday party, and I'm not allowed to be on with women because their family is not too friendly with me. So I decided to stay back and not go to that party.
But you could have went back to Mr. Costello's house, right?
I don't find it necessary for me to go back there when he has his family helping with her. I don't have to be at his house if I don't want to.
But you were living there.
Just because I'm living there does not mean I have to go. I have to be there 24/7.
Right, but you hadn't seen your daughter in over a week because you had been hospitalized.
She was already out, and I could not see if she was not at the house.
You know when she returned to the house?
Yes, it is.
When was it?
It was late at night,
Okay, and when did you return home? Not till the next day, right?
next morning.
Now, are you consistently taking your mental health medication?
I only take anxiety medication and depression medicine, and I no longer take it
Why?
because it is not helping.
Do you see a psychiatrist?
I do
Okay, and how often do you see that psychiatrist? Have help with
once a month
When's the last time you saw them?
before I went into the hospital,
So so you're talking like 3-4 months ago.
back in 2024. I still see a therapist.
Okay, so where's the order going to Head Start at?
The Head Start program that used to come out to, was going out to Mr. Costello's house. When, Mr. Costello was at work, the ladies would come over. Sometimes he'd come over when he got out of work, but some half of the time, he would come over to his house when I was there with him.
Okay, and so she's been consistently doing that at his home, true?
Yes,
Okay, so how many people are living in this Ondale house?
me and my boyfriend.
You mentioned you had stuff for your daughter, true?
Correct.
It's also true that you picked it up in like the last 24, 48 hours, true?
No,
No?
no.
Okay. Do you receive assistance for yourself and the minor child?
Actually, I was living with my stepfather, yes.
Okay. So, how do you intend on providing any type of basic, necessities for your daughter when being unemployed and receiving no assistance?
I am currently fixing up my new house. And, once the painting is done, the furniture is in, I was going to start looking at jobs. I didn't want to put in any applications because I didn't know how far it was gonna go, and I didn't want to start a new job while doing court issues, well, not issues, but doing court stuff.
Okay, so what's held you back the last 9 months on getting a job?
Because I have anxiety, I have depression, because I had postpartum depression, and it really hasn't gone away.
Okay, and so that would be the reason that for the dozens of times that you have.
It was not dozens of times.
I didn't finish my question there, but, that, then the anxiety, depression that you suffer with would be the reason that you had taken your child to her grandparents as well as her father a number of
That's
times.
the only reason. I had appointments, I had an EMDR treatment, and therapy appointments, doctor's appointments. I cannot take her to my EMDR treatments because I cannot keep my eyes on her because that kind of therapy is, I have to be focused and I have to be really into it. My attention cannot be on my daughter where I should be on her treatments.
So that's the therapy that you're currently engaged in.
EMDR treatment and regular therapy.
And you had mentioned that there was some issues with the trading some days and not sticking to the 2-2-3 schedule, true?
Yes,
And isn't it also true that it was because Mr. Costello asked you for some assistance to deal with the death of his mother at her funeral?
that is correct.
And it is correct.
I watched,
Yeah, okay,
and even when he was back home, he still needed my help with her, which is not, it's not part of the agreement.
okay, so you don't believe that if someone else.
If he was to be fair and to, help me when I needed help, I would have not, had such an issue with it.
You don't think that putting a reporter has paying for your cell phone and your car insurance and providing for all your basic necessities is not helping you?
Mr. Costello he has paid the car insurance most of the time, but my cell phone did not always pay.
All right. Your Honor, I mean, I could go on and on all day. I'm just gonna leave it here, and if we need to continue, like I said, we can do that, but I don't have.
All right, thank you. Anything else you want to add? But I have to caution you though, Miss, we have to look from 2/1/24 forward, not prior to that. We have to look at the order that was last entered on February 1st, 2024, moving forward. Anything you wish to add? Okay, you may step in. Wish to call your witness.
Yes, I'm gonna call my phone, Your Honor.
Sir, please step to the witness stand. You're under oath.
Sorry, Brent, I'm gonna just kind of do a couple things. As we've already went through, we're gonna go from February 2024. Okay. So I need you to say yes or no. Not, mhm. Gotta keep a record, okay? So, in the last year, would you say that it is a true statement that, Haley has forfeited her parenting time to you or your parents at least 40 different times?
Yes.
Excuse me, your name, please, for the record.
Brent Costello.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No, you're fine.
And to your knowledge, Haley has also resided in a number of different places over the last year, true?
Yes.
And in August of 2024, you allowed her to move back in with you, is that true?
Yes.
Because she was effectively homeless.
Yes.
Okay. And so you allowed her to live with you for approximately 7 months.
Yes.
And during that time, you were paying for almost all of her living expenses.
Yes.
And there were a number of times that it was her parenting time, but she's out and about with various significant others, true?
Yes.
And it was your responsibility to make sure that your daughter was cared for.
Yes.
And you make sure that she has everything she needs, is that true?
Yes.
And if the court were to modify the custody arrangement, you already have plans in place for your daughter, is that true?
Yes.
So you've already been working on potential daycares and things of that nature, is that true?
Yep.
And for your child's entire life, where you live, has really been